Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome to Young Titan World. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. It's your boy, Young Titan, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. I said it twice, I know something's wrong with me. Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about one movie, one that jumped out of nowhere, and I watched it. Well, technically I downloaded it, but I had no precognition of what it entailed, so it's like I was flying blind the whole time, or at least the whole time that I was watching it. But I do know that there was an Asian lady in it that caught my eye. She was on the she was in a different movie. I don't think I've made a review about that one. I think it was some sort of trip that 3 girls were going to, probably 4. I don't know. One of them looked gay. One of them did not look like a girl, but let's try as much as possible not to derail the conversation from the movie I'm about to talk about. The name, Shortcoming. Yeah, Shortcoming. And it's basically for all... it was an all-Asian kind of thing. But ideally, it was a drama that talked about a guy who felt as if he was stuck in his life. He had a girlfriend who he took for granted. He had the demeanor of being the sarcastic, grim type of person who always saw the negative, and his jokes as well as his character was vulgar to the core. But he had a best friend who was gay, and their lives is basically that of any normal person who has been through a lot of shit and decided to shut himself in, and as that only one go-to friend, in order the only person who could possibly understand what they're going through or who they are as a person. Now, as the story develops, each and every character seems to be moving away from the main character, who quite honestly should take the role of the villain. How do I call this? I don't know, I see myself in him, or I see myself as him most of the time that I'm watching this movie, and it's all about how he perceives himself and the people around him. I don't know, as you're watching the movie, you realize that the relationship between his girlfriend and him turns sour with time. The idea of having a happy relationship is temporary, and as it's temporary, it comes up to a conclusion where they're supposed to break it off. One thinks they're taking a break, another person thinks that they're completely broken up. I don't know, there is always that consistency where they're trying to make it work, but each one of them is so inwardly true to themselves that they chaotically destroy whatever relationship exists between them. The characters are very much in sync, but also at the same time, there's a lot of chaos inside them. That's probably what a chaotic relationship would be about, where one would try to sink to save the other, but as time goes on, they realize that the sinking is not helping them, and so they decide to reach out for air. They get out of the water. What am I talking about? I'm just saying that this movie really made me think about relationships on a different level, Probably not completely new, because if I've learned anything, is that nothing's new under the sun. People may have realized it during their relationships or the countless number of relationships they've been in, but as time goes on, you realize that you can't save that person, so it's better to let them sink. Let them go, you can't give a shit anymore. Anyways, the movie was really cool. I liked it. His best friend was a girl, the lesbian girl. She was more open to understanding what he was going through, so I can feel for him. In my mind, I thought that they were going to end up together, because there was no one in this freaking movie that understood him long enough to even keep up with him. That says a lot, because a lot of us, and I mean a lot of us, don't really have people that can stand us. There is always that moment of innocence where we don't know much about each other. We don't know jack about each other, so we tolerate one another in the hopes that as time goes on, we get used to it, or as time goes on, we'd be more comfortable with each other to divulge such or different concerns or different tendencies. All I'm saying is that with this entire show, you meet different people. In fact, it's divvied up into different parts where we talk about different characters and how they treat the main character. And some stay, some leave, some don't really have a connection with him. They just use him for his body. Although I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but there is no actual connection with each other. But they enjoy the time that they have together, which can tell you a lot. Meaning that there are some people who are in your life that make you laugh, that make you happy, but in the end, you're just filling a spot for someone else. You're not a consistent character that they want to have each and every day. You are a replacement. Let's say that in terms of royalty status, you're a regent, you're a steward. You're not the main thing. And that is probably one of the takeaways that I have from this movie. The fact is relationships are complex. Each and every person goes into one for a particular reason. And as much as you'd like to believe that you are both in because you're in love, it probably is because you have the money. Maybe it will evolve with time, and there will be other reasons for the relationship to exist. But let's face it, it never is the same thing in the beginning. And so, I'm not saying guard your heart, because if you guard your heart, you'll never love. If you never love, you never live. So it's probably best that you go into relationships bearing in mind that certain things will not go the way you planned. Rather than expecting that you know what's going to happen at the end game, you don't. Maybe the person never, there was one thing that I constantly do, and that's think the worst about someone. And then eventually they do what is worse, and I blame them. It's aha, I knew you were going to do that. But the truth is, they probably never were like that. You pushed them there. You turned them into the villain. How? I don't know. Your aura, what you give off, the kind of accusations that you would pull out. I know you were here. I know you were with someone. Don't lie to me. You don't care. You would say all these things, and eventually that day will come where they can't fight. They can't fight the negatives. They cannot go against them. So, if you can't beat them, join them. So in that respect, they become the villain that you called out a long time ago. All because you were negative. All right? Anyways, Shortcoming came out of nowhere. It's drama. And if I've told you about anything, drama does not psych me up as it does fantasy, as it does sci-fi, or as it does real futuristic stuff, which basically still falls under sci-fi. But yeah, I give it 6 out of 10. Because maybe the only people that would truly appreciate it are those from the Asian variety, or those that really take film seriously, like the history of film, where it's come from, where it's going to. Maybe those are the people that would truly appreciate it. Me, for the most part, those parts were boring. I gotta admit to you, I was probably playing a game whilst I was watching it as well. That shows you that I'm committed to finishing the movie, but I'm not so much interested in finding out what the next step is. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. This is Young Titan, and I hope you guys have the rest of your day as okay. I hope you have a fantastic day. There, I said it 3 times now. Okay, so until next time, bye!